In the modern world, calmness and focus are often mistaken for achievements, goals to be chased, milestones to be reached. We are told to find peace, as though it is a distant destination, something waiting for us outside ourselves. But true calm and genuine focus are not objects to be acquired. They are not earned through effort alone, nor are they the rewards of external success. Rather, they are qualities of the mind and heart that already exist within us, quietly present, patiently waiting to be uncovered. This is why cultivating calm and focus is not about addition, but about subtraction. It is the process of peeling back the layers of distraction, of noise, of mental clutter that have gathered over time. Just as the moon is always full, but sometimes hidden by clouds, our inner stillness is never truly absent. It is merely obscured. When we strip away the unnecessary, when we remove the rush and the constant reaching, what remains is clarity, and in that clarity, calm and focus naturally arise. The word cultivate reminds us that this process is organic, like tending to a garden. It requires patience, presence, and care. We do not force a flower to bloom. We create the right conditions, and the flower blooms on its own. Likewise, we cannot force the mind into calmness through pressure or resistance, but we can breathe deeply, sit quietly, and begin to train our awareness gently, watering the seeds of stillness within us. With time and consistency, these qualities grow strong. It is also important to remember that calm and focus are not fixed states. They move like waves, flowing with the rhythm of life. Some days will feel centered and grounded, others will be turbulent. But even in moments of chaos, we can return to calm, not by grasping, but by releasing. It is the act of remembering that we have always carried this potential within us. The more we return, the easier it becomes to stay. Ultimately, calm and focus are states of being. They are the natural result of a mind aligned with the present moment, unburdened by the weight of past and future. We do not need to escape life to experience peace. We simply need to enter more fully into it. Through this realization, the pursuit ends and the practice begins. The present moment is the only moment that truly exists. Yet, most of our attention is spent either chasing the future or clinging to the past. The mind jumps from thought to thought, projecting, comparing, anticipating. This constant movement fragments our energy and clouds our clarity. Awareness brings us back. It is the simple act of noticing what is, without judgment, without resistance. When we return to the present, even for a breath, we step into stillness. Not a stillness of inactivity, but a deep inner quiet where the noise begins to fade. Among all the anchors we can use to root ourselves in the now, the breath is the most accessible. It is always there, rising and falling moment to moment. The breath does not exist in the past or in the future. It is only here. To follow the breath with full attention is to come home to the body, to the mind, to this very second. Inhaling, we are aware. Exhaling, we let go. This simple rhythm becomes a gateway to calmness. It requires no belief, no preparation, only observation. What makes the breath so powerful is not just its constancy, but its neutrality. It does not lie. It does not rush. It does not seek approval. It simply flows. And when we allow ourselves to flow with it, our mental chatter begins to settle. The breath teaches us a different pace, slower, softer, more deliberate. In a world that celebrates speed and multitasking, this quiet rhythm offers an alternative: depth over haste, presence over productivity. To practice awareness of breath is also to develop intimacy with yourself. You begin to notice how emotion affects the breath, how fear shortens it, how calm deepens it. In this noticing, you start to understand that the state of the mind is reflected in the body. This awareness builds a bridge between the two, and through that bridge, we find balance. Over time, you learn not only to observe the breath, but to trust it, to let it guide you back when the mind strays too far. In cultivating this awareness, distractions do not disappear, but they lose their grip. You become less reactive, more discerning. The breath becomes your anchor, your companion, your reminder. And though life will continue to pull at your attention, you now have a place to return to, a still point in a moving world. All of it begins with awareness. All of it begins with the breath. Many people believe that focus requires force, that to concentrate is to tense the mind, clench the jaw, and push through distractions with sheer willpower. But true focus is not a product of strain. It is the natural byproduct of clarity. When the mind is clear, it settles. When it is settled, it sees only what is essential. Focus, then, is less about doing more and more about letting go of the unnecessary. It is a process of refinement, not accumulation. Imagine a still body of water. When undisturbed, it reflects everything with clarity. But when the surface is stirred by wind, ripples distort the reflection. The mind functions in the same way. When stirred by distraction, emotion, or stress, its vision becomes clouded. But when the noise fades and the agitation settles, focus emerges on its own, quiet, sharp, unwavering. You cannot force water to stillness. You wait, you breathe, and you allow it to become calm. To focus clearly is to say no to everything that does not serve your purpose in the moment. This requires awareness, but also courage. It is not always easy to turn away from the constant stimulation the world offers, the endless streams of information, the invitations to comparison, the urgency of doing. But when you train the mind to return again and again to what matters, it learns to value depth over distraction. Each return is a small act of discipline. Each return strengthens the mind. There is also a hidden effort in focus, not one of strain, but of consistency. It is the soft discipline of gently guiding your attention back when it wanders. Not punishing, not forcing, just redirecting patiently. Like training a muscle, the strength of your focus grows with repeated practice. But unlike physical muscles, this training does not tire you. On the contrary, it restores. It allows you to enter a space where effort meets ease and work becomes meditation. Over time, this clarity of attention begins to shape the way you live. You speak with more intention. You listen with more presence. You engage with the task in front of you as though it is the only one that exists. Because in that moment, it truly is. Focus is not the narrowing of attention through tension, but the expansion of awareness through simplicity. When you remove what is not needed, what remains becomes radiant. There is a profound difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is immediate, impulsive, and often driven by emotion. It arises from habit, from fear, from the unconscious patterns we carry. Response, on the other hand, comes from awareness. It carries stillness within it. A calm mind is not a passive one. It is deeply attentive, quietly alert, and fully present. From this space, actions are deliberate, precise, and free of unnecessary harm. When the mind is calm, it creates a gap, a pause, between stimulus and action. In this pause, there is space to observe, to feel, and to choose. This is where our power lies. It is not in controlling the world around us, but in how we meet it. calmness is not weakness. It is the quiet strength of one who does not allow their peace to be stolen by circumstance. A person with a calm mind does not avoid difficulty, but faces it with clarity and grounded presence. The reactive mind is easily shaken by words, by setbacks, by uncertainty. It interprets everything as a threat, constantly defending and resisting. But the calm mind does not need to defend itself. It listens fully, speaks only when necessary, and remains anchored even in the face of tension. This steadiness brings confidence, not arrogance, but a quiet confidence rooted in self-understanding. The calm mind knows it does not need to prove anything. It simply is. Training the mind to respond rather than react is a lifelong practice. It begins with small moments, noticing the breath before speaking, pausing before making a decision, observing a feeling without immediately acting on it. Each of these moments is a step toward mastery. That is the number R. The mastery is not control over others. It is the ability to remain centered in yourself regardless of the situation. This internal balance becomes a source of guidance in both calm and chaotic times. Such a mind becomes like still water, reflective, deep, and undisturbed. It sees clearly because it is not disturbed by every ripple on the surface. In this clarity, choices are wiser. Words are fewer, but more meaningful. Actions are measured, but impactful. The calm mind is not detached from life. It is fully immersed, but no longer lost in it. It remains present, like a tree rooted deeply while storms pass through its branches. Discipline is often misunderstood as a rigid force, something harsh, strict, or even punishing. But true discipline is not about force, it is about commitment. It is the quiet agreement you make with yourself to return again and again to what matters. In this way, discipline becomes a form of devotion, a steady choice to meet each day with awareness, to create space for stillness, and to hold presence as your guide. It is not what you do once in a while that shapes your mind. It is what you return to consistently, even in the smallest of ways. Stillness is not merely the absence of movement. It is an inner condition, an openness that allows you to simply be. In daily practice, stillness can take many forms. Sitting quietly, walking slowly, closing your eyes for a moment before beginning your work. These practices are simple, but they are not easy, because they ask you to stop running, to pause the endless doing, and to come face to face with the present moment. Stillness over time reveals what is true. It reveals what is necessary and what is not. Presence grows out of this stillness. When you are present, you are not fragmented. Your attention is not split between what you are doing and what you are thinking. You are fully where you are, speaking with intention, listening with your whole being, moving through your environment with awareness. Presence is a discipline because the world constantly pulls you away from it. Notifications, noise, memories, worries, they all compete for your attention. But the practice is simple. Come back. Come back to the task, to the moment, to yourself, and at the center of this return is the breath. Conscious breathing is not just a relaxation technique. It is a form of training. Each breath is a chance to anchor yourself in the now. Inhale, you arrive. Exhale, you let go. Over time, this rhythm becomes your foundation. In moments of stress, it calms you. In moments of uncertainty, it steadies you. To breathe consciously is to embody presence, not as a concept, but as a lived experience. This discipline of stillness, presence, and breath is not dramatic. It does not demand attention. It happens quietly in the background of your day, But like water shaping stone, it changes you, not through force, but through repetition, through care, through intention. And the more you return to it, the more you begin to live from it, not only during formal practice, but in how you walk, how you speak, and how you respond to the world.